So in this episode, we're going to be talking about managing yourself to stay creative. This episode is not quite a tutorial, but it's more about a problem-solving perspective. So this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time because it's something that I faced quite often in 2018, which is burning out. There'll be a lot of times where I'll be working way too hard and not smart, and then my approach will become one-dimensional, and that just doesn't work because my IG tag is Dimension, shameless plug. So this video is definitely geared more towards creative freelancers, but if you are facing the same or similar issues as these, then hopefully this video can help you out as well. So what I started to do, especially in the second half of 2018, was give myself structured working hours. I pretty much gave myself full-time hours and left my weekends completely open. So on a usual day, I wake up around like 8 o'clock in the morning and give myself an hour to sort of sober up and wake up, do some light exercises and have some quick breakfast as well. Once it gets to about 9:30 a.m, that's when I start jumping on my desktop to start doing some work. So when it hits around 1 p.m, I give myself about an hour of lunch and break time. And in that break, I stay away from my workstation. If you start associating your break time with your workstation, you're going to end up stressing yourself out in the long run and also tiring yourself out. So once it hits about 6 p.m, that's when I sort of clock myself out and call it a day. So how I went about that was using the Google Calendar app on the phone. Because I'm working with my business partner Kurt at Mind Society Studios, we'd be inputting our daily, weekly and monthly schedules so that we can also check up on each other and ourselves as well. One really big thing that helped me out, especially for day-to-day tasks, was post-it notes. So this is something that my girlfriend really hammered into me, and basically you write down all the tasks that you want to do within a day and you just cross them out as you go. It helps me visualize the progress that I'm making, and it helps me feel a lot more accomplished and motivated as well as the day goes on. So with what and how, here's why I scheduled my time in that way. So treating it like an actual job is a really good way to discipline yourself, especially for the long run. On top of the discipline, it also keeps me responsible and accountable for all my work. So having these systems in place and this kind of work ethic really helps me keep myself in check and to keep myself improving and learning as well. So one of the things I had to find out in the hard way was work your worth. What I used to do was, say hypothetically, I'd pick up a $300 project and spend 2 weeks of full-time hours on it. If you were to calculate that like a hospitality or retail job, that is severely underpaid. So once I started organizing my time and work hours, I was able to realize how to work my worth and how to spend the right amount of time on the right types of projects. Things were really chaotic when I didn't really give myself boundaries or limits, and I'd be working late into the night and then waking up late the next day. Giving myself goals and objectives really helped me focus in on the tasks that needed to be done. Organizing all of that time for myself gave me even more time for other things like relaxing. It's really important to keep yourself in check and make sure that you are feeling emotionally and mentally stable and healthy. Say you do like a super duper hard workout and you end up being really sore. You don't go straight back and go do a hardcore workout. So I had to treat my brain the same way. I need to give myself time to rest and recuperate. So this ties in a lot with emotional and mental well-being, and that is spending time with people that are important to you. It hit me even harder recently because, long story short, my dad's not doing very well because of a heart problem, and my grandma is essentially, we're waiting for the inevitable at this point. You have to really think about, at the end of the day, what does this work all really mean and where is it going to end up? It's really important to cherish the moments that you have with the people that you really care about. So I know that got a little bit heavy, but going back to the creative side, it's also really good to get out there and experience life and learn as much as possible. I just kept concentrating on pushing out content after content and not giving myself that room to experience new things and expose myself to more stuff. And this stuff could be like films, movies, TV series. Just putting yourself out there and taking as much as you can in helps you keep creative and inspired. Life is just way too short for you to not enjoy, and there were a lot of times in 2018 where I did burn out and I stopped enjoying what I was doing. So as a creative, I do understand how hard it can be to keep ourselves within certain boundaries because our work and ideas can stretch further than just the usual task-to-task basis. We end up constantly redoing and retouching our work to try and expand and improve it without realizing how draining the process can actually be. But with some more disciplined time management skills, we can teach ourselves how to separate and balance how we approach our creative work so that we don't burn ourselves out, and most importantly, keep ourselves happy for the rest of our lives and our careers. So that's pretty much the end of this episode. I know it wasn't really much of a tutorial, but more of like a self-reflection. If you do want to check out more of our content, you can check out our social media platforms, which will be linked in the description below. So this will be a consistent thing as well. We're starting to dub our Tuesdays as Tutorial Tuesdays. So we'll be dropping advice, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, might be tutorial videos or just like really short little paragraphs or like little tips and advice. And as always, we really appreciate any kind of feedback. Any sort of feedback will help us make this content better for you as well. And if there are topics that you want me to cover, please send us a message or even comment down below and we can try and cover that as well. Once again, thanks for stopping by. This has been another episode of Refine the Mind. My name's David and I'll see you guys all next time.